Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give our praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha HaKodash, and double honors to our apostles and elders, and a great Muslim who taught us his truth, or Shalom to Akim, which was his word across the four corners of the globe, with all truth and sincerity, Bahasham, HaKodash, and then pretty much just begin to quick lesson, to focus upon the etymology of the word, hope, and things that we, hope for in Yahweh Shai. Because when you pray, matter of fact, I'm going to just get straight to the precepts. Which I'll come back to this specific one also. This is Hebrews. And I'm just flowing through the spirit. I don't got nothing, anything set up. I also don't want to make this too long, so I just want to get straight into it. This is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I only want to skip down a couple verses. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Going back to the word hope, which the noun version, confidence in the future, especially the Most High or Mashiach, as a basis for hope. From the verb version of the word hope, as expectation of something desired. The main thing I want to get into was the word expectation, man. As expectation of something desired. Also trust, confidence, wishful desire, as things hoped for. Also grounds or basis for hope. Because you believe upon Yahweh Shem outside. You know what I'm saying? So this is your, anything that you ask of him, through the spirit power of Yahweh Shem outside, and you're doing things accordingly through his spirit that are pleasing unto him, being brotherly, you're doing what you're supposed to do. The Lord's gonna make it happen, man. Because why? Because you're doing what you're supposed to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we just did in the previous lesson, how the Lord don't hear sinners, man. The Lord don't hear sinners, man. You got Jay going to church every Sunday, thinking they doing the right thing, but the Lord don't hear these niggas, man. Praying to Jesus and JC, God, every Sunday, thinking that, they really think that that's the Lord, man. But the true power never heard these individuals, man. The Lord only hears his chosen, his election. Because they on the earth doing the right thing, doing what it is that they're supposed to be doing. Even though, they're suffering their, oppression. Yet, they're still able to do what they're supposed to be doing. The Lord still, through his mercy and his grace, he still hears them, man. And still, grants them their prayers, man. Faith is the substance of things hoped for the evidence of things not seen. That hope, man. That hope. See, A lot of Jake gonna have no hope in the time coming, man. A lot of you niggas gonna have Gary to have no hope in the times that are approaching, man. Because why? Because you forsook this way, the true way of hope. You know, it came across you at some point in your lifetime, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, you might have came across the brothers through the videos. You know what I'm saying? Through, in person, like, downtown, of like, any respective city that you was in, and you can, and you seen brothers on the highways and byways physically, and you just kept it walking, or you might have even, walked up to and listened, and you just and you wanted to, you came in the spirit of debate, you came in the spirit of what's the word, contention. You just want to just, right, you just, be a nigga and just start some shit up, and go about your day. You don't know that you just marked yourself for judgment, man. So we out here in highways and byways, I'm saying, to bid them to the marriage, man. To convert you, man. I'm saying, not to debate with you, because this is the 100% way. I'm saying, this is the way of Yahweh Shai, man. This is Yahweh Shai's way. But we understand that even then, because even then, when Yahweh Shai himself was on the scene, majority of Jake rejected his way also, man. Even those mass gatherings, you know, you know, that had Jake, convinced that was the Messiah. But when things got, more sharper and more hard, Jake got offended, and turned around. And the Lord, he has to remain, the remaining disciples, are you also offended, the way you leave? I'm if you're paraphrasing, and what Peter said, Lord, like, where else shall we go? Thou has the word of life, man. It takes up to that level of grit, so to speak, that the Lord is searching for, man. John chapter 4, verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. The Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. There's another spirit, another precept to back up that point. Oh, shit, yeah, yeah, I think that's the most number one. Yeah, come. Yeah, I believe there's another precept. There's another precept to back up my point. But yeah, man, I guess that's it. But yeah, man, the time has come to where the Lord, He seeks for no other but for those that's worshiping Him in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship Him. The true worshipers, man. I'm saying, they ain't half-assing. They ain't, like gonna be offended, you know, by a parable that they don't understand. Which really, at the end of the day, it ain't even up to them. It's up to who is of the election, man. At the end of the day, I'm saying the angel blocked those masses understanding. You know, and he wanted them to be offended because what? Because he wanted only a specific, chosen few to receive this thing, man. To receive Yahweh Shah, to understand who He is. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't even to them to begin with, man. They got the food, they got the fish and bread, and, and got the fuck up out of here. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the true worshipers in these last days are going to show forth and keep their hope upon the Lord, man. Upon Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. You know what I'm saying? We in testimonies of brothers like crazy miraculous type deliverance be happening, you know what I'm saying, to certain brothers, man. Because, hey, man, the Spirit is dealing in this real time, in this real life, man. In this world, man. The Spirit is truly dealing in this time, man. And we are, man, words can't describe the blessed privilege to be amongst, to see and understand, to witness these things, man. Amongst, you know what I'm saying, these individual, chosen individuals, that you can be able to call your brothers and, your spiritual fathers, and your leaders, on top of that, you know what I'm saying, let alone the spiritual force behind these things, man, and that you're able to call your God, your power, your own personal power, that you can call on upon any moment, man, and he can hear you and grant you certain things. It's the type of force that Esau is terrified of, man, that he knows still exists in these last days, man. You know what I'm saying? But here come, man. That's pretty much the main points I want to get in for this lesson. You know what I'm saying? I pray and hope that your brothers and sisters find us edifying. Until next time, I say shalom.